check this out. The first time I've ever met Louis C.K., I was at the Comedy Store, right? And I go to open up the back door. And I'm just opening the door to let this dude in. And I get my ass chewed. And I'm like, what the fuck? Why is this guy yelling at me or whatever? And he's like, hey, you do not get the door. I can get the door for myself and all this other stuff. This is Louis C.K. And I'm like, what the heck's this guy's problem? And I look over my shoulder, and I see P.J. Stansberry standing over there and Don Barris grinning. And all I hear is Don Barris screaming, hey, everybody, Josh just opened up for Louis C.K. Friends, fans. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, go ahead, man.
Okay. What happened?
I don't know.
Friends, fans, followers, leaders, and true believers. Sitting here with me is Brian Kerns, an old buddy of mine, stand-up comedian friend. Hi, Brian.
What's going on, Josh?
These guys are in town, and I say these guys is in Jokeslingers Comedy Tour, coming to Virginia Beach. It's going to be awesome. I feel completely honored because they asked me to open up the show for them, and the Navy SEAL Foundation's done some awesome things. Actually, you guys have done some awesome things for Navy SEAL Foundation. We'll talk to you about in a minute, but I just want to say, man, I got nothing but respect for these guys. Come up and doing their own thing. It's kind of like the Pearl Jam of comedy. You know, but once upon a time, Pearl Jam didn't like Ticketmaster, and they're like, we're going to do what we want to do this way. And you guys are kind of, not saying fuck you to clubs, but you're just kind of doing things, I think, the right way. You're promoting yourselves. You're getting yourselves out there. I mean, can you tell me a little bit more about that?
Well, the Jokeslingers Comedy Tour consists of myself, Brian Kerns, I was on Last Comic Standing, and Alex Moore, he was on Mad TV, My Name is Earl, he was the international spokesperson for IHOP, and Adam Dodd, who's a guitar comedian. And
I love those guys.
Yeah, he's a really solid comic. Probably, people have been coining him the best guitar comic in the country, so...
I could see it.
Yeah, he's really funny. He's a really funny guy. We've all headlined all over the country, and we realized that we would have a really good show together. Like a normal show that you go to, it normally has a host who's a little bit weaker, who hasn't been doing comedy very long, and then you have a middle guy who hasn't been doing it that long as well, and then you have the headliner who's really good. With our show, it's hard hitting from beginning to end, and we want to bring a quality product to the people, and we are also, for every ticket that we sell, we're giving $1 of it away to charity. So far, we've done the Dempsey Cancer Center in Maine, we've done Wounded Warrior in Tennessee, and we're doing the Navy SEAL Foundation right now. And coming up next month, we're doing one in Lorton, Virginia, on November 16th and 17th, and $1 for every ticket's going to the Movember Foundation, whatever, like Dodd picked it, man.
Right,
it's for colon cancer.
Well, that's cool.
So, for anybody who's...
I thought the whole thing was kind of cool how it went down. You gave me a call basically like, hey, what's a good charity in the area? I'm like, the Navy SEAL Foundation, and what that basically is. And I'm surprised nobody knows more about this, but...
I've never heard of it, man.
Yeah, and then it's just like that. What it is, basically, the time frame between somebody passing away, and that's a SEAL or works in special warfare. I'm a Navy CB, so I do construction and combat. Chances of me working with one of these guys is high. You know, if something bad happens, these guys always have my back, so I think I'm his family. They're our little brother because, what I'm saying, we've been around a little bit longer. But anyways, I won't say that to too many because I'm sure they'll try to kick my ass. We can handle that, though. That's going to be edited. But what it is, basically, if one of them passes away, they don't get the funding from the government right off the bat,
Which is horrible, man. I can't believe that they don't get it right away. But, I mean, bureaucratic red tape, it exists everywhere, right?
Yeah, and it's sad, too. You guys, as Jokeslingers, $1 per ticket, these two shows, donates to the Navy SEAL Foundation. And the Navy SEAL Foundation themselves, they pay, like, a lot of times, like recently, we had a young man passed away, and they actually took care of, paid for a lot of the funeral arrangements, the flowers, got some of the people in and out of town. Though also, if the wife or a child passes away, if I was working for the teams right now, and something happened to me, God forbid it does, but if something did, my wife Jenny, she'd get taken good care of, and so would the kiddos. they'd have some money in between the time frame. It's not like they're going to give them a blank check or anything like that, but it's going to say,
but they should.
Well, yeah, it'll give them whatever they need within reason. But I didn't mean to bring it down to that downer, but it's the thing that's really out there, man. But back to the Slingers tour.
That's the thing, man. We want to put on a funny show and have it help something, have it benefit something. We've actually taken suggestions, like you said, I gave you a call and you were like, what do you think of the Navy SEAL Foundation? And I said, what do you think of the Navy SEAL Foundation? You said, I love it. And then I said, do it.
Well, the thing is, too, is funny, because I was like, hey, man, can I get a free ticket? And you're like, no. You want to open? Yeah! The way that went down, that was pretty funny. But yeah, man, I think it's pretty cool how you guys are doing that, though. Because basically you got 3 core comics for the Jokeslingers tour, and then you go to these other places and you're taking onesie, twosie guys.
We've been having...
James Polk's one of my favorite local comics, man.
This is one of the rare ones where we're having 2 guys open for us. And normally it's just one guy, one local guy, and that's it. Then it goes to me. We do it Comedy Store style. It's shotgun style. You're going one comic to the next. There's no host. It's funny, and then you leave on a rock and roll sort of high because of Dodd and his songs. And I do a lot more one-liners, and I do a lot of crowd work, and Alex does a lot of observational humor and stories. So it's a really good mix of comedy. You're going to see a little bit of everything in that night. And since we're producing it ourselves, there's no restrictions on what we're able to do creatively, which is nice. I find that working with the clubs, it's tough because you always feel like you're one show away from never working again. And it's been nice to not have that pressure. Like, I can go be free. And it's been a wonderful thing.
I've seen a lot of that, too. Like, before I even got into comedy, and after being into comedy, you see that a lot in the military, too, is like, some people are just, what can I get out of you? What can I get out of you before I send you out the door? And that's, a lot of people out there are users. There's a lot of really good people. I think some of the places are pretty cool, and there's a lot of good guys out there.
Dude, I've worked with a lot of quality bookers, man.
Yeah.
They exist. They're nice people.
Well, we can plug them if you want. You can say, like, I like Dan Ellison's a hell of a nice guy.
Dan Ellison's a great dude, man. There's a whole list of them.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I wanted to be a part of something different. Like, this isn't something that's common, man. Right. And as comedians, you sit around and you talk about, we should go on tour. Yeah. And then it just never materializes. And we decided, like, Alex and I had talked about this probably 2 or 3 years ago, man. And we're getting a lot of support from a lot of different people, and there are other comics that are just cheering us on, like, go get it. And but what's scary about it is, along with getting the reward from having the shows do well, you also have the risk, and that part of it is not cool. But so far we've been fighting, and we've been doing pretty well, man. I'm very happy with the way that the things have been going on the tour.
Yeah, I remember the last time I seen you and Alex together. I just walked out. You guys were smoking cigarettes outside the back of the Comedy Store, and I'm like, hey, what's up, man? And just shooting shit with you guys, because I think I was going to go down the street, and I came right back. You guys still out there, still hanging out. I thought that was cool as fuck, And then come to find out, I'm like, I'm a Facebook junkie, I'll admit it. I'm seeing Jokeslingers Comedy Tour. I'm like, this is fucking badass. It's Kerns, Dodd, and Alex Moore. All 3 of you guys, after, just hanging out with you guys. And then now you guys are out there doing that. You're doing it independent. It's like you're doing it for the fucking love of the thing.
We're doing it for the love of the thing, man.
You're doing it for the comedy. It's not like right at this moment you're not making a whole lot of cash out of it. You're doing it because you're loving it. But at the same time, who was it? You said somebody said something good about you guys.
It's not that we're not making cash. We're making a lot of money, man. It's just all the expenses that go into it and advertising costs eat up a lot of it. So though we're making money, we have to feed it right back into the machine in order to get. But I mean, we're starting to have news outlets just come to us, like Good Day Maine. We're on. It's like Good Morning America, only shitty in Maine. but they came after us, Right. Like we're starting to get these television spots, and we have a lot of stuff in store. Like we're gonna be doing full on sketches, and we're gonna be doing a radio show, it's on FXBG Pirate Radio. Any Monday that I'm in town, I'll go and sit in on our show. But now that Alex is moving within 20 miles of me, so now we're going to have a radio show where it's going to be me, Alex, Dodd, and we're going to be talking about I don't even know what the format's going to be yet, but it's happening. So the thing that a lot of comics get themselves caught up in is not doing. A lot of comedians are lazy, and I'm myself included. Like when I was working for the clubs and I was going around all over, I would wake up at noon, and then I would take a nap at 3, and then I would go do my show, and then I would be on to the next show.
When you say not doing, you mean like marketing or getting yourself out
there? There's no reason to get yourself out there, because whether or not it's 2 or 2,000, you're getting paid the same. So what's the point? Like, I think on a lot of levels, comedy clubs gather the fan base. Like, they're fans of the club. Well, and this, like with the Jokeslingers Comedy Tour, I've put my name out there so much more than I ever had been in 10 years of working for other people.
That's like a lot of clubs. Like, I really like the management. There's a funny one in Virginia Beach. I really like the management. The guys there are fucking awesome. They're really good people.
Yep.
But you don't see that everywhere. I mean, the people are friendly. They know their stuff. They know their comedy. Matter of fact, a buddy of mine is a comic that works in the place, and he's a bartender there. Yeah, awesome guy, Everett Price. And the thing is you got those guys, but you don't see that in every club. And I fully agree. You see a lot of these clubs, and that's just a fucking machine. It's
a
just,
machine.
That's it, and it's just in and out. There's a couple other ones I won't mention, but that they'll just, we want you here, and then we want you out the fucking door, and then we want some other people here. We don't care what your condo looks like. We don't care what your hotel looks like. You can give a fuck, sleep in a sleeping bag.
Some don't even give you a hotel, but that's not my that wasn't ever my issue, and I don't hold anything against anybody. I just wanted to, like, the way that I see what we're doing is almost like vaudeville sort of thing. It's different than your normal comedy show, man. Like, we played classic rock before every show, just a bunch of cool Guns N' Roses and just stuff that gets you hyped. And so it's more of an experience, and that's what we're trying to do is have it be like a theatrical event where, like a lot of comedy shows, they you vary the lineups all the time. Like, we're trying to get really good together. And
can I get Johnny Pyramid slid in there? That song Beaver Liquor.
Yeah, you probably could, man.
Nah, those guys take good care of me. You guys take good care of me too, man.
Well, you're a good dude, Josh. I appreciate all that you do. Yeah, I thought you were a comic when I met you at the Comedy Store, and then you weren't, and now you are. So
sorry to break your heart. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah. But no, it's cool too, because it's like so back asswards how I got into it. It's just so many really. I said it before, so I don't want to bore everybody with it. I just happened to be in a bad time in my life, and the store, we keep going back to the store because it's an easy place to gravitate to, and the store just kind of pulled me in, and everybody there. I think I was talking with Roddy Piper about this, about he's like, yeah, I feel like a pet or a mascot for this place because they feed me table scraps and they rub my belly. And that's exactly how I felt. I'd sit in the back. I don't know how many times you see me and Piper sitting in the back of the place just laughing and having a fucking blast with people like Earl Skakel and Tony Hinchcliffe would be on stage doing their Roddy Piper and
that was great.
Ric Flair.
I was there for that.
Oh, that was great. Fucking awesome, man. I love those guys. So.
Yeah, the Comedy Store has been a big part of my career, man. I'm not a paid regular, but I had worked myself up. Like, the way that the Comedy Store works is you start out at potluck, and you'll get like an early spot. You'll be number 1 or 2, and then you get to the better you are, the better you're doing. You move all the way up the list, and the list is 15 long. And then once you get to the 15 spots, then you move on to becoming a friend or a family of the Comedy Store, and that's where I got but it was an active choice. Like, I was going back. It was for 2 years. I was going back and forth between Los Angeles and Washington, D.C., and I would come back home and I would work the road, and then I would make money, and then I would go back to L.A., and I would do 3 or 4 mics a night, and then I would spend the rest of the night hanging out at the Comedy Store. And before I went to the Comedy Store, man, it opened my eyes to so many things that are important in this business. Like, if you are a young comedian and you want to learn about comedy, go there and stay the whole night. Yes. You have to stay the whole night. You have to do it over and over and over again, because you never know what you're going to see, and you're going to see people deal with situations, and you're going to be like, wow, and you're going to be able to develop your way to deal with those same situations through even being there. Like, there's something special about that building that infiltrates you. I mean, but that it's not for everybody. You gotta almost be a misfit to fit in.
I loved how like one night you'll see somebody that'll just fucking destroy
Yep.
the OR, the original room, and then the next night it'll be like they just, what the fuck happened? You know, I knew this was great. Or within fucking an hour, somebody will be doing the main room. I don't know my shit names, but I seen a comic just completely destroy the main room, and then go in the OR and just eat dick. It's just whoa.
It's humbling, man. It's an awesome thing. It's like I've had great sets in the original room, man, but I've also eaten it bad.
Yeah.
But that's what it is, man. It's learning, and it's learning about being you. But back to what I was saying, man. I'm going back and forth, and I'm married. I've been married for 4 years now, and it was either continue being married or work at the Comedy Store.
Right.
So I chose to have a wife.
Well, that's the thing too. Is like I seen a lot as a comic and as a military person. It's just the communication. You have to have communication, and if you're trying to make a relationship happen while you're doing this, it's give or take, you know. And sometimes you just got to give that little bit, you know. And it's not like you're making a ton of money being a comic starting off, especially, you know, or doing it for years.
You're taking beatings.
Yes.
You're taking beatings. Even now that I'm making money, it's still beatings.
Right.
And there's a whole level of stress that wasn't with it before. But even then there's stress. But, I mean, the thing is that by going to the Comedy Store, I used to just tell jokes, and now I'm free. I allow myself to watch the room and see what's going on in the room and be in the moment. And I don't think I did that very well before. And I met great people. Like one of the guys on the tour is Alex Moore. I met him at the Comedy Store, man. It's a wonderful, wonderful place. I like a lot of people there, man. Great fucking dudes, man.
Couple questions for you. How'd you get into comedy?
It's a weird story, man. I was always funny in school and shit, but I never really thought about being a comedian. I've always wanted to be a professional baseball player. Okay. And then it was a steroid era, and I was good, but I didn't shoot up, you know what I mean? So that was done. And plus, I would rather I was smoking pot instead of, you know, playing baseball. But a friend of mine, I used to tell him all the time, like, dude, you're hilarious, man. You should be a comedian. And he would always say, no, you be a comedian.
Right.
And then he ended up passing away in a car wreck. So then, like, very shortly after that, I went to an open mic, McLean, Virginia, Wiseacres, the now defunct Wiseacres Comedy Club, and I watched. And I saw a lot of these guys, man, and I was like, wow, I can do better than that. And then I went, and I sadly found out that I couldn't. But it's if you want to be a good comedian, you have to commit. You have to be all in. And aside from my wife, I'm all in. And even that, I'm here right now promoting a show. I'm not at home. I was home for I was gone 24 days last month, man. So thank God my wife is very supportive, and thank God I married a hermit that doesn't leave the house. Like, I don't worry about anybody fucking my wife, because the only time she goes outside is to get the Netflix, and that comes every 3 days. So there's about a 3-minute window where somebody could actually bang her out. So, and I'm faithful to her too. So it's a good thing. Like she's very much a cheerleader in my life and very supportive of what I'm doing. Though she nags at me about not being organized, I'm working on it, man.
What do you think would probably be the most beneficial lesson for a junior comic, a new guy starting off?
That's
or a couple.
Most beneficial lesson.
I think persistence is one of them.
Oh, dude, man, tenacity, man, tenacity. You have to, and a lot of comics that are young will deliver their material in a way like, is this funny? And really, you got to go at it.
Checking for acceptance shit.
Yeah, you got to.
I'm guilty of that still, man. I do that sometimes.
You got to give it to them. You got to just give, like, you know what the fuck you're saying is funny, and it's not always going to be funny, but you got to at least deliver it that way. Read books about comedy, watch comedy, listen to comedy, find people that you never thought you would ever find, like Red Skelton.
You know how many people don't know who the fuck Lenny Bruce is?
Dude.
What the fuck?
Yeah. Dude, find those dudes, man. Bill Hicks.
Hicks, yes.
There's a list a mile long. Like, old Woody Allen is good to listen to. Rodney Dangerfield, like, whatever I don't know. Just study them all. And don't be limited to one thing either, man. Watch Def Comedy Jam and see Teddy Carpenter and see Hamburger and you know, make sure that you know a little bit about the history of what you're getting into, because it's very important to your success. Well, some people, like a comedian friend of mine, Courtney Farrington, man, very funny dude. You look him up, man. He's out of DC. He told me one day that he's like, comedy, like some people like have it in their blood, and other people wear it as a jacket, and then you take that jacket off and like you know. And I'm one of those that it's in my blood. Like I wouldn't be going to places to hit 4 mics in a night,
right?
If I didn't, like, there's some sort of weird thing that I get out of it that I don't know. There's an energy exchange between me and the audience that I don't know if I'm stealing the audience's energy or they're just giving it. I don't know what the hell happens, but it's really great. Like we were talking about it in the car earlier about how, you know, you're talking about nerves. Or no, you got a big laugh and you were like, yes.
Yeah. I hit the fucking. Yeah, it was like one of the first times I fucking destroyed anything in the OR. I had the entire room, and it was that one joke, and I'm like, fuck yeah! It's like I won a jackpot in the back of my head, and I don't want them to know it, because I want the sharks to sense the fear.
Oh, and I bet you smile like a motherfucker.
Oh, man. On the inside, hell yeah. On the outside, I'm war-faced, motherfucker.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I hit an IED.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, but the thing is like, eventually, like, I think that feeling goes away. Like, or that doesn't go away, it just morphs itself into, like, now I'll think...
Is it like a blowjob with a callous dick or something?
Like,
I mean,
dude,
just...
after you've done shows all over the place and you know certain bits work and you know exactly the points that they hit.
Right.
You know exactly where they hit. And then when it doesn't, you're like, what the fuck? Like, it's a different sort of...
Right.
I don't know, maybe I'm just negative and you're positive. Like, I'm like, fuck, what was wrong with that? Like, I'm not concentrating on... Like I said, that's another thing for younger comics, man. Don't worry about your victories, man. Don't worry about them at all. You gotta concentrate on when you eat shit and what went wrong and fixing it. Like, that's why you, going to New York or Los Angeles where you can get up a bunch of times in a night is good. Because, like, I mean, I was going out to LA 2 weeks a month and I was getting up 32 times.
I gotta blame my
in 2 weeks, and then I would come back and I would do longer sets.
Yeah.
And like, it was a nice mix for me. Like, I was lucky that I was able to, like, LA is 3 and 5 and 7 minute sets. Some of them are 15, but when I'm featuring or headlining on the road, I'm getting 30 minutes to an hour. So I was able to go to LA and develop specific bits within that 2 week period, and then I would be able to add them to my act.
Oh, yeah,
for what I was doing on the road. Like, it was a lot of fun doing that.
They build like little segues in between each one, or just go
fuck a segue, man.
Right in between.
Yeah, I'll find it. That's one of the things you learn at the store is finding it. Like, the store is like, you either love it or you hate it, man. I happen to be one that loves it.
Yeah, I see. You know, I didn't realize how many people fucking hate that place.
Oh, they do, man. But the thing is that they don't get it.
But a lot of them don't play guitar for Paris Kennedy Overdrive. Yes. Thanks, guys. I appreciate it, Earl. Mary Jane. Aiko Tanaka! Yeah, and especially Don Barris.
That's one of the things I miss too, man. The Ding Dong show is...
Oh my god, it's fucking hilarious, man.
I don't know how everybody doesn't know about the Ding Dong show.
Oh my god, it's like one of the funniest things ever, man.
Like, I wish that Don Barris would bring the Ding Dong show on tour and just bring it to fucking obscure places and just freak people the fuck out, man.
And that's one of the things too, like, it's funny because everybody that comes through here, like Adam Dodd, Alex Moore, you, a lot of the people... And we'll have conversations about people from the store like Dove, Steve Simone, Brent Ernst. A lot of these guys are really cool and nice people. But it always revolves around Don Barris and how fucking hilarious the guy is. I have yet, and I've been to 6 of the 7 continents in this world. And I have yet to find an amusement park better than Cedar Point. And I have yet to find a freaking MC better than Don Barris. I don't know, we're getting pretty close on time. Yeah, I appreciate you coming down, brother. Thanks for everything. Good stuff.
You, man.
I don't know how the fuck to end these things.
Wake up early in the morning, go to the well and the well run dry. Yucca Bass in there, find label until the girl come back by and by. In the Beaver liquor. Early one morning, hop on a boxcar on the St. Louis on a northbound train. Hole in the ceiling, flapping like hotcakes. Get a free shower in the pouring rain. Get to the city, checking through the motel. Fanciest place that I ever done seen. Look across the street for a little entertainment. See a young lady make my face turn green. Standing all butt-necked over by the window. In full figure to my surprise. In come a woman with a funny-looking finger. Seen it all happen with my own two eyes. Seen by the landlord, big and all muscle bound, chasing me around like an old cyclone. Looks like the way this place done working. Jumping on the train before I get back home. Beaver liquor. Wake up early in the morning, go to the well, but the well run dry. Uncle Bear sent there, find Mabel, know the girl come back by and by. In the wintertime, when it's cold out, everybody know that the pond gon' freeze. Locked in the cabin, cold jug of whiskey, waking up the dead, yellow woe is me. Fifth week of April, snow done melted, open up a door for the washing man. Get him in the shed, shoot sideways glances, hit him on the head with a frying pan. Down by the frog pond, come across some catfish, walking upright like a human being. Said, hey, white boy running around barefoot, whole lot of fish in the world need free. Beaver liquor.